Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Om Ganganapate Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Deva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namah Shivaya Shri Radha Krishnaya Namo Namaha Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 2nd of August 2025. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Bhagavan residing in the heart of every single being. We are continuing by the grace of Bhagavan Krishna and Shri Radhika Ji, Shri Radharani, and all the great sages who are in the world today as well as in Parampara to bless us. I want to offer my prostrations to all of them for their wisdom, their guidance, their blessings, because of which we are able to contemplate Prem-Lakshana Bhakti. We have been at this now for 1 month and 2 days, and we're going to continue all the way towards the end of this year. And then after that, whatever is the will of Bhagavan Krishna, that will happen at that point. We will see. So to continue further from yesterday, we are looking at the abode of God. भगवान का धाम क्या है, कैसा है, और कौन वहाँ जा सकता है? Who can go there? What it is like? What is it is composed of? So much it's transcendental realization. So we're specifically focused on Golok Vrindavan. This is quite extraordinary. It is beyond really our ability to understand. It is anirvachaniya. As in the Vedas, Bhagavan Swaminarayan Golok के विषय भी कहते हैं कि अनिर्वचनीय धाम है. Anirvachaniya meaning it cannot really be described using any language we have here. But still there are descriptions to give us some indication. That's needed. And it is important for us to evolve ourselves internally to prepare to go into the abode of God. This entire life we have, entire day by day life we have, what is the main purpose of this life? It is a preparation to enter into the kingdom of God. That's what the Christians are also saying. Christianity says, right? Every religion says that. The kingdom of God. It is a preparation to enter Golok Vrindavan for those who are devoted to Radha and Sri Krishna Bhagavan. तो उनके साथ रहना है, उनका जो धाम है वहाँ जाना है. It's like saying, where do I want to go? What is the destination after leaving this body? Come back here, go into Swargalokas, go other places. कहाँ जाना है? We don't think about these things usually. But that's what satsang is all about. That is the whole point of the spiritual path. To set the destination, where is going to be my liberation, where I want to go. So we prepare for that here. How do we prepare for it? By getting absorbed inside Sri Krishna Leela, Sri Krishna Updesham in the Gita, by going through the Bhagavatam. There's so many scriptures and everything are there, but our internal bhakti increases. Slowly, it increases. And as it begins to increase, all of the internal confusion goes away. So that's the Gita's teaching has to do with that. Gita says, bring ourselves into a equilibrium state. Tulya nindastu tirmauni santushta yena kenachita. Tulya bhav. Tulya means equanimity. कोई निंदा करे, कोई स्तुति करे. ये सचिन के भी जीवन में, it happened some years back. Some very, very difficult and troubling situations happened. जो भी हो. I don't want to go into the details, it doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is, that is a test to see how much steadiness is there. कुछ भी हो जाए जीवन में. Criticism हो जाए, अपमान हो जाए, ये हो जाए, वो जाए, कुछ भी हो जाए on one side. And on the other side, स्तुति हो जाए. People praise. Both extremes. Bhagavan Krishna is teaching and giving the agnya. उनकी आज्ञा भी है, उनका उपदेश भी है. The tulya ninda stutir mauni santushta. Santushta means satisfaction. But that satisfaction with whatever is available, whatever the situation, circumstance may be in life. Some of us even right now in online might be going through some difficult situation. Don't get overwhelmed by that. See the next steps. Bhagwan ki bhakti karna. Do your duty and leave everything to Bhagwan, to Paramatma. Don't carry the burden. Just take the right steps. Do the duty. This too shall pass. Everything passes in time. It's going to pass one way or the other. But the question becomes, can we remain very steady and then prevent problems from happening? Right? So these are practical things to keep in mind. As we are living on a day-to-day basis, there are so many changes happening throughout the world, inside of us, in our lives. But that equanimity, santushta yena kenache, satisfaction and equanimity is what that verse says. That equanimity is tulya bhav. Tulya, ninda, stutir, mauni, santushta. Mauni means one who is contemplative, internally very steady. ये क्या होता है हमारे जीवन में मनन चिंतन नहीं होता है, unless we are very much interested in bringing wisdom from inside. We just keep fluctuating otherwise. So this is where the word mauni comes into the picture. Tulya ninda stutir mauni santushta yena kena chita aniketah stiramati bhaktiman me priyo naraha. Bhagwan Krishna kya kehte hai? That such a person who has all these qualities, filled with devotion.
Sachin,
Yes. Yes, is there a question?
the phrase you said, the phrase you said, can you you're explaining it here, can you kindly write it also later
Yes.
on?
Yes, yes,
Can you
yes,
post it
sure,
for me?
sure. Absolutely. I'll
Please.
post. Sure, I'll post the phrase and then some commentary on that also, right? It is from the Gita. Tulya ninda stutirmauni santushta yena kena chita aniketa stiramatihi bhaktiman me priyo naraha. This is one of the most important, all verses of the Gita are important. Very practical. Very, very practical, because this happens in life, right? There are situations where we are criticized, where we are praised, where we are, given a lot of kudos in life. And then there's situations where we're criticized. बहुत कुछ होता है जीवन में. मान होता है, अपमान होता है. इन मान अपमान में एकता, सुख दुख में संभाव, right? समत्व, सुख दुख, मान अपमान, निंदा स्तुति. These dualities is what the Bhagavad Gita is saying, and the word tulya means equanimity. Sthita pragnata means keep it steady. Mind has to be steady. If 100 people 1 year from now start praising Sachin, you're amazing, you're this, you're that. Bhagwan Krishna ki agya kya hai? Tulya. And another 100 people say, kya bakwas, what a foolish person, this idiotic guy. Koi baat nahi. Just because somebody says you're an idiot doesn't mean you are that. Just because somebody says you are the great saint, no, that doesn't mean you are that. जो भी है उसका कोई importance नहीं. Importance in terms of our ahankar gets lost in both places. That's why Bhagwan Krishna कहते tulya ninda stutir mauni. Tulya ninda stutir mauni. Mauni means one who is steady, contemplative, manan chintansheel hai. He's not swayed. This happens, right? It happens very quickly. If even one person makes one good comment to Sachin can be flying God knows where in his mind. Oh, I'm some gone, finish. Adhyatma khalas ho gaya isme. इसीलिए भगवान कहते हैं, it's okay. If somebody praises, leave it be. Somebody criticizes, be steady. Situations in life, family situations change all the time. Husband is going in one direction, wife is going in another direction, children are going in one direction, this world is going in some other. ये तो सब चलता ही है. This goes on. Don't get disturbed because of this thing. This is what this word mauni refers to. Mauni means be very, very much within yourself. Antakaran mein antah sukha. See, atmanne vatmana tushtaha. sthita pragna tada uchyate. That internal natural satisfaction, this is possible when our manovritti, hamara jo antakaran hai, it is linked at the feet of Narayana. It is given over to Narayana. वो एक स्थिति ही अलग है. To give the mind. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. That was my computer just restarted for reboot. I don't know what happened there. So it's okay. Here's the point. To give the mind over, to give our life over at the feet of Paramatma, it's an internal thing. It's an internal nishta. Isko kehte hai swarup nishta. And until all of this happens, this breakage, this opening into the Bhagavat Dham is not, that is something quite far off. We'll still rolling around in the mud of the sansar. Think of it this way. Ye sansar jo hai, this worldly existence, it is as if, it's like, I'll give you an example. Let's say you've taken a shower, nice and clean and everything, and there's a big mud pit. Like a big mud pit. And somebody pushes inside there, we fall inside there, everything becomes mud. Everything, we're just covered with mud. But that doesn't mean we are the mud. All we have to do is get up from there and sit under the shower and or take a bath or whatever and let all the mud get cleaned off the body, and the body becomes clean again. Similarly, the attachments, entanglements, problems, situations, everything that goes on in this sansar is mud. That's what it is. That is why in chapter 15, Sri Krishna says, Asanga shastrena dridena chitva. Asangatva means rise above this mud. This sansar is going to continue exactly the way it is. Different yugas are going to come, different people are going to come, different bodies are going to come. Rag, dvesh, aham, mamata, some sukh is there, some dukh is there, all this mixture. Ye pura sansar hi aisa hai. That is, this sansar is not the goal. ये जो दिखता है सब, ये जो भौतिक जगत with family and parents and children and this and the animals and kids, yes, love has to be there. Love is there. It is the inferior energy of Krishna, but it is only Krishna's energy. वो प्रेम ही है. So that is fine. But that is not the goal. The goal is not just to be stuck inside the mud of the sansar through rag, dvesh, aham, mamatva, punarjanma. In Vachanamrut it is written also, Maharaj kehte, how many mother and father have we had? Millions. People are so torn apart by the passing away of a mother, father. Rather than getting torn apart, increase bhakti. That tearing apart is nothing but ahankar. I don't want to say this really, but I'll say it anyway. People are crying and shouting and screaming and whatever they're doing during funerals. That's not love. But if you think that's love, it's totally wrong. That वो एक अहंकार का ही स्वरूप है. It's just people crying at the funerals. Oh, you're gone. This is gone. You're crying for who? You're crying for yourself, not for that other person. That's not love. वो love प्रेम है ही नहीं actually. इसको कहते हैं आसक्ति. इसको कहते हैं अहंकार. अहम ममत्व कहते हैं. That is not love. What is actually love is the absolute pure devotion towards Paramatma, and that same Paramatma within the parents while they're alive. After the person is gone, you're crying at the funeral. How is that love? That's not love. You see, so it's such a misunderstanding. It is mamatva, it is ahankar. It is entangled attachments and out of our own ego and regrets and all those things. कुछ नहीं है इसमें. इसका कोई अर्थ ही नहीं है. And then 5 minutes later, whole family gets together to figure out what's in the will, who got what inheritance. That's the only thing that matters then. How is that love? ये इसको प्रेम कहते हैं? See, we don't even know, we meaning humanity, doesn't even know how to be a human being. Where's the issue of realizing God? प्रेम की बात ही कुछ अलग है. When we are in the family, there should only be love. No conflicts, no problems, no issues, nothing. And with realizing how to interact in the right way, but also realizing asanga shastrena dridena chitva. that the attachment is towards Paramatma. Bodies come and go. Family members come and go. In the Vachanamrut Maharaj has written, we have drank the milk, mother's milk. You know how much? As much water is there in the oceans. That's how many births have been taken. Infinite number. Kya naya hai isme? So the goal is not to keep coming back in this sansar. The goal is to set the destination for Bhagavad Prasannata. To please God, to be with Paramatma, or unki ichha. If he sends somebody here, that's fine. Otherwise, by one's own desires, one doesn't come back here again. So these are the basics. Now with these basics, I'll just take 2 more minutes and I'll try to stick to a little bit of time here. With these basics, with these basic points, when the destination is set, that Bhagwan ka sakshatkar karna hai, everything falls into place. We are not bothered by anybody. The sansar continues. The sansar, meaning the worldly experience, continues as it is. Each jivatma is on its own path. We get so disturbed many times because of something going on with our children, with some parents, with some relatives, with this, that. Don't get disturbed. That jivatma doesn't belong to you. That belongs to Bhagwan Krishna. Nobody belongs to us and nobody is actually ours. We think that this person is mine. Nahi, hamara koi hai hi nahi. This is a totally false concept. शरीर का संबंध है, आत्मा का कोई संबंध, आत्मा का संबंध भगवान के साथ ही है. ये शारीरिक संबंध है. That they're necessary. With love and affection, do your duty and leave everybody alone. Each jivatma is traveling in its own path. Just for example, if you go outside and you see a bird is flying from one place to another and it's living its life. Are you bothered by that bird? Or am I bothered by that? Am I so deeply attached to it? It's mine and this and that. No. It's going in its way. Okay, we see it. Whatever it is existing. Bhagwan ki ichha. We don't even give it a second thought. But once you bring that bird inside the house and put it inside a cage, this is my bird. Now ahankar develops. That is how aham mamatva develops, because of closeness. But closeness is not the problem. The problem is a sense of mine. This is now my bird. Nobody is ours. When your child is born, we say, this is my child. Yeah, we say that. Wrong. वो जो आत्मा तत्व है, that वो भगवान का है, that body has been developed around the Atman because of karma sambandha, has come to us, and it is our duty to fulfill that activity, to raise the child, do everything with affection, care, prem. Yes, absolutely. But that jivatma is on its own journey. What do you have to do with that? What does Sachin have to do with that? For example, the father of this body passed away 3.5 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. वो जो आत्मा तत्व है, उनका जो आत्मा तत्व है, that is on its own, it's on a journey. This body was connected to that body through karma sambandha somehow. Whatever it is, it's a very complex process, and that is how the birth occurs. But the Atma is not born or dies. Atma doesn't belong to anybody. This is the whole point of Prem-Lakshana Bhakti. That when we are doing darshan of Shri Radhika Ji and Bhagwan Krishna, मैं तेरा हूँ, I am yours. And when we reach that state that I am exclusively yours, मैं तेरा ही हूँ. कितनी बड़ी बात है. It's amazing. That's extraordinary. वो नहीं होता जीवन में. और जब ऐसा होता है, the immediate effect of that is that there is love for everybody. All beings. It's not like, there's a who cares attitude, everything is just meaningless. No. There's love everywhere and in everything. There's no longer that these 5 people, 10 people, 100 people, 100,000 people, this race, this caste, this religion, this, all of this thing gets obliterated. All those boundaries. Socioeconomic boundaries, racial boundaries, linguistic boundaries, economic boundaries, every boundary, caste boundaries, इसका नाश होना चाहिए. Anirdesham, this word Anirdesh comes in the Vishnu Sahasranam and in the Gita, and Bhagwan Swaminarayan talked a lot about this. And इसमें क्या है, Anirdesh means without boundary. Is it possible? थोड़ा try करना कभी. कितना difficult है ये. Even if, for example, here in Delaware we have Mahalakshmi ji ka ek Mahalakshmi ji Devasthanam. I'll give you simple examples, very simple examples. Let's say Sachin goes there, and I'm doing darshan of. Generally when we enter the mandir, there's some namaskaram to be done, and then first darshan is of Ganesh ji, always, and then we continue. But let's say Sachin is standing in front of that murti of Ganesh ji, we ring the bell, and 5 people are standing around me. Somebody's from north, somebody's from south, somebody's speaking a different language, somebody's speaking Hindi, somebody's speaking Tamil, somebody's speaking this. It happens, right? It particularly in mandir like that one. It can happen. Immediately, the mind judges. This person is like me, this person is not like me, this person is this. Immediately, wo jo darshan jo karte hai na Bhagwan Ganesh ji ka, there's a block. That is a block of division, right there. भगवान के साथ कनेक्शन ही नहीं है. As soon as that block, it doesn't matter how many mantras we're chanting, chant million mantras, zero effect. And maybe some punyam is there, that's all. इसका real effect हो ही नहीं सकता. How it is possible? The moment there is even the slightest sense of me versus you, finished. There is a maya ka block है. Then it just becomes ritual. Punyam is there. It's good to still do that, but it is done through the block. How will that work? How can our mind touch God when it is blocked? How it is possible? How can we see the truth? Satya kya hai? Satyam is beyond boundary. And our human mind is such, it is filled with boundaries upon boundaries upon boundaries upon boundaries upon boundaries. They have to be obliterated from the inside out. Each and every boundary has to be completely shattered from inside out to reach bhakti. Bhakti aati hi nahi. Kya bhakti aayegi? Kiske जीवन में आएगी? कैसी आएगी? आ ही नहीं सकती. That's why people don't get enlightened. Why everybody is not like Mirabai? Why everybody is not like Sant Tukaram? Why everybody is not like Premanand Swami? बड़े-बड़े जो संत हो गए, they have destroyed those boundaries from inside out. And it is no easy task. Our mind is functioning through boundaries. That is the whole point of entering into a holy place. Particularly what we call मंदिर, जिसको हम मंदिर कहते हैं. शिव मंदिर है, दुर्गा जी का मंदिर है, लक्ष्मी जी का मंदिर है, जो भी कृष्ण का मंदिर है. The boundary has to be obliterated inside out. And then with that vision, it's anointed vision. This is where there is a loving glance towards all without division. A vision without division is the foundation of bhakti. There cannot be bhakti when there is division. How is that possible? That's why people don't realize God. We might be going to mandirs. Some people are even pujaris in the temples. But if there's division, there's wanting something from someone, there's all kinds of materialistic stuff going on, massive block. No, it doesn't work. Ramakrishna Paramahans was a pujari. I'll close with this point. Ramakrishna Paramahans was hired as a pujari by Rani Rasmani. She was a queen and she had this massive property and the temples were built. He was hired as a pujari. But was he doing his puja archana bhakti as a job? No, that has to go. If it doesn't go completely, you cannot become Ramakrishna Paramahans. Why every pujari? There are thousands of temples all throughout the world. Sab Ramakrishna Paramahans kyun nahi bante? Because there is some desire for money. There's desire for name, for fame, for position, for this, for that. All of this has to go. Completely it has to go. Can it go? किसके जीवन में से सब निकलता है? You find even one person like that. It's difficult to find even one person. I'll close with this. That's why Vivekananda Swami, when he went to Ramakrishna Paramahansa, said, have you seen God? He says, yes. How? He said, like I'm seeing you. even more clearly. This is where Ramakrishna Paramahansa is in love, meaning the activation of Prema Bhakti towards Kalika Devi. Akhanda Bhakti, Divya Bhakti. He's not doing just a job there and all that. He just chanting mantras and all. ऐसा नहीं है. उसमें से अहंकार नहीं है, division नहीं है. Saintly qualities are there. Everything is obliterated. Asanga shastrena dridena chitva. And with that devotion, akhanda bhakti, he's enlightened. Can pujaris become enlightened? If they adopt this, throw the boundaries away. Yeah, maybe as a certain activity you have to do as a procedure. That's fine. Antar mein purna bhakti. There is bhakti. But the difference between Ramakrishna Paramahansa and anybody else is this much, the boundary. In the ancient times, in the Rishi Parampara, they never asked for donation, nothing. Isko dakshina. See, we use the word dakshina. Kitna sundar shabd hai. भगवान की पूजा के लिए, भगवान की अर्चन के लिए, वो जो भी है, जो मिलेगा, ठीक. Somebody offers a leaf, somebody offers a fruit, or somebody offers $1 million. समत्व. सब परमात्मा का है. And santushta yena kenachita. This is what the Gita is teaching us. Santushta with whatever comes is when we are actually in such a state of life, even as a grahastha, even as in any form, then only the doorway opens into prema bhakti. बाकी ये open ही नहीं होता. ये सचिन का मत है. ये जो भगवान जो बुलाते हैं आपको, आपके आगे, I'm putting it in front of you. जो सत्य है वो सत्य ही है. It is not about a question of anybody's opinion. And आध्यात्म के मार्ग में किसी के भी पास किसी वस्तु मांगनी, never ask something from someone as an exchange. It's not a business. Pure Sanatana Dharma doesn't ask anything from anybody for adhyatmic sadhana. And that is Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Ramakrishna Paramahansa became Paramahansa because of these extraordinary qualities. बाकी किसी का काम नहीं है इसमें. बाकी सब व्यवहार चलता है. जैसे ठीक है, पुण्य मिलता है, गुड थिंग्स आर देयर, बट प्योर अध्यात्म, वो जो भगवान का धाम में जाना है, it's not a small thing. There has to be the absolute 100% पवित्रता. बाकी वो गोलोक में आप जा ही नहीं सकते. Is it like taking a tour somewhere, taking $5,000-7,000 going to Hawaii? Hawaii में गए, Alaska में गए, take a nice tour. Is something like that? ऐसा नहीं है. I apologize for speaking a little strictly about this. But ये जो सत्य जो बात है ना, वो सत्य बात ही है. It cannot be diluted. It must not be diluted. ऐसी बात है. This is the fact. Rishi Muni in ancient times, they never asked anything from anyone. Kings would go, people would go, they would offer to the rishis. They don't ask anything. Adhyatma mein, for example, one of my gurus in India, हमारा जो गुरुजी who guided, I just close with this, in doing some of these sadhanas and all, उनके जीवन में ऐसा है, वो कभी भी नहीं, he never asks, says, people they say how much dakshina we should give, how much, he says no, I cannot tell you that. आपके मन में जो प्रेरणा होगी, and then he lives that way. और उनको माता जी देवी का साक्षात्कार है. Why? Because of this reason. This is one of the reasons. In the pure adhyatma, there is no asking at all. Whatever anybody offers, even if there is just one small temple, but it should be absolutely 100% pure. There should be no contamination in that. And these are contaminants. Magna. किसी के पास मांगना, point ही, this is the problem. जो मिलेगा वो ठीक है. कितनी डिफिकल्ट बात है ये. इट्स नॉट अ जोक. भगवान का धाम ऐसे नहीं मिलता किसी को. इट रिक्वायर्स द हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ शुद्धता, पवित्रता. तब वो जो सहस्रार चक्र से हम बाहर निकल सकते. इवन द स्लाइटेस्ट वांटिंग सम कार्मिक कनेक्शन विद एनीबडी, नो, इट्स नॉट इजी. बट दैट इज हाउ देयर इज अ प्रोसेस, देयर इज अ वे टू गो थ्रू ऑल दिस थिंग. You see, otherwise one will be caught, one will be bound, one will be trapped inside the sansar. और भक्ति तो मिलेगी भी नहीं, भक्ति नहीं मिलती. You see, so one has to be careful. I'm not trying to find anybody's fault or anything like that, but this is just the reality of how the abode opens up. Let's stop here for now. तो थोड़ा स्ट्रिक्ट लैंग्वेज है थोड़ी, बस माफ़ कीजिए. इट इज़ नॉट अबाउट क्रिटिसाइजिंग एनीबडी, बट ये जो सत्य है वो सत्य ही है. ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्य कोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. ओम गंगणपते नमः. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुदेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु महालक्ष्मी रूपेण संस्थिता. नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. ओम नमो नारायणाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमः शिवाय. 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 सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थ साधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते. ओम त्र्यंबकमिजामे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्य मामृतात्. नमः शिवाय. ओम श्री राधा कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. ओम ह्रीं स्वाहा.